All right, so we're going to be looking at 11.5. This is applications of interest and mixture. I didn't do a note section here. It's best to learn these by doing them. There's a few videos that Hawks provides that you can look over those and look in the book. That'll give you a little bit more explanation, but the more you do them, the better you'll get at them. So for this problem, we have an amount of money given. Part at 11% and part is invested at 7%. And then they tell us that the amount of interest earned on 11 exceeds or is more than the interest from the 7% by $913.46. And they want to know how much is invested at each rate. Okay, so we have two things we don't know. So for everything you don't know, you need an equation. So we have two unknown amounts of money. And I'm going to create a variable for those. So I'm going to say X is the amount. I'm just going to abbreviate AMT at, we're going to call it the 11%. And we're going to let Y be our other variable. Y is the amount at 7%. Now, when we're using these percentages, we're going to have to convert them to decimals. We do know the total amount of money. So these X and Y are amounts of money. These are the percentages that they were invested at. But since we know the total is 22,102, I know that if I add these two amounts of money, X plus Y, that will equal the total amount of money that was invested, the 22,102. All right, so the other equation is going to come from using the percentages with these amounts of money. So the way you find your interest is you multiply the percent times the amount of money, and that gives you interest. So the next one says the amount of interest invested at 11% exceeds. So this one is more than. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to say 11, which I'm going to change it to a decimal, 0.11x. Exceeds is more than. So the other one, I need to add this amount because this one is more than that, and I want them to be equal. So however much this one is more than, I need to add it to the other one so that they're equal. So it's more than by 913,913.46. So it's more than that other one by this one. And it says that was the one that invested at 7. So 7% as a decimal, 0.07Y. So altogether it says 11% exceeds the amount invested at this by this. So I got my 11%. This is more money. So if I take this interest and I add the difference, then I get them to be equal. Okay, so here are my two equations. Takes a little bit of trial and error setting those up, a little practice, but with time you'll get it. All right, so I want these equations to be lined up. Notice X and Y are on the same side here, but different sides down here. So I'm going to subtract and move over the 7Y. So this equation is going to become 0.11x minus 0.07y equals 913.46. All right, in order to get rid of decimals and make this a whole number, we're going to multiply this by 100. 100, that power of 10 is going to move the decimal over 2 times. At the same time, I'm looking at these two, because this is original equation I haven't changed, and I want to get rid of either X or Y to eliminate and solve for the missing. So when I multiply this by 100, these will be whole numbers. That'll be 11, this will be 7. And since it's already negative in the Y, I can use this Y to eliminate it because they're opposite signs, positive and negative. So to eliminate Y, we'll need to multiply this equation here also by 7. So I'm going to do that and rewrite those two equations down there. So multiplying by 100, This will become 11x. Move it over twice. This will be minus 7y. And also 100 times this is going to move this decimal twice. So this will be 91,346. That's this equation. All right, this one we're going to multiply by 7, everything. So that will give us a 7x. That will be plus 7y. And then 7 times this number. We'll let the calculator crunch that for us. So we're going to do 7 times 22,102. And that gives us 154,714. All right, so now I'm going to add these two equations together. So I'm going to run out of room. Add these two equations together. We get 18x. The y's get eliminated. Equal 0, carry the 1. That'll be 6. 0, carry the 1. And that'll be 6. 14, carry the 1. So I get 246,060. We're going to divide by 18. Okay, so again, we got some pretty big numbers, so we'll let the calculator compute this. 246,060 divided by 18. And so this gives us x equals 13,670. Now that we know x, we go back to our original equation, and I'm going to plug it in. So 13,670, put that in the place of x, plus y equals the 22,102 that we started with. And then if we subtract the 13,670 from both sides, that leaves us with y equals 2, 3, that's a 1, so that we borrowed that 1, that leaves us with 4, 21, 13, 8. So 8432, let me just double check with this calculator, 22,102, and then minus 13,670 and 8432. Okay, so we get y is 8432 and x is 13,670. So we're going to input both of those here. So x I labeled, remember, was my bigger amount at 11%. So the amount at 11% was what I got for x. That's the 13,670. And then y was the amount at 7%, so 8432.